The longer you're away from creating content, the harder it becomes to actually get back into the flow. So today we're talking about how to get back on video after a break. Let's get right into it. If you're new here, my name is Liz. I help coaches and consultants add video to their business. Be sure to subscribe so that you never miss any of my future content. Now, every single one of us want to take a content break at some point. Sometimes it just becomes too much, especially with social media being so fast moving and so busy. We might feel like we are constantly churning out content and we never get a break. That's totally fine. The problem is when that break goes on and on and on, and then you hesitate to even come back at all. This has happened to many people, and it happens a lot with video content. Creating video content takes a ton of physical and mental energy. There's a lot to prepare, and doing it over and over and over can sometimes cause a person to feel just burnt out with the entire process. Or you might end up taking a break from video content simply because you feel like you've run out of ideas and you don't know what to say anymore. The number of reasons for why you might take a break from video is actually pretty huge. But today we're talking about how you can get back on the video train even after a break. You don't have to hesitate to come back or wonder, what is my audience going to say if I've been away for so long? In fact, they are going to welcome you back. And there are different strategies you can use to ease your way into it. So let's jump right into it. One of the first things for you to do, and in fact, this is the step that nobody wants to do, is reflect on the reasons why you needed a break in the first place. And I don't mean reflect for 1.5 months. I mean sit down for half a day and reflect on it. Think about what it is that prompted you to take the break. Is it because the tech became too overwhelming? Or maybe video editing was draining too much of your time? Or did you run out of ideas? Or you felt like your videos were getting out there, but they weren't getting any traction? There could be a whole list of reasons why you actually took the break from video in the first place. So address that specific reason. Don't get into a frame of mind where you feel like, oh, I just needed a break from video. Find the exact specific thing that made you feel like you needed that break and address that specific thing. You don't have to throw your entire system out the window. Just because you took a break from video doesn't mean that video in general was not working for you. It was probably one thing that was just triggering you and causing you to feel like this entire process and system of video marketing is just too much work and not really worth it. For many of my clients, they have been eager to create videos, they've had ideas, they wanted to show up on camera, but the tech was the one thing that was really holding them back. So similarly, I'm sure that it's probably one or maybe two things at a maximum that held you back. Write that one thing down, brainstorm some ideas about how you can overcome that one thing. When I say brainstorm, I mean think of some active solutions. For example, if the reason that you took a break from video is because you felt like you just didn't have time for it anymore, then write lack of time at the top of your paper and then write down 3 ways that you can overcome that. Of course, you can't add more than 24 hours to your day. That's not a solution. But one potential solution is to find ways to make shorter videos or to find platforms that allow for quick video making, or to spend less time with editing or less time with some other part of the process that was actually draining your time. So look for some active solutions for that one thing, and then we'll jump into the next step. Now, I'm interrupting this video so that I can remind you to subscribe. I think you should do that first. And if you want to get on video sooner rather than later, be sure to join me in my next live free webinar where I outline 3 of the simple steps that you can take this week itself to finally add video to your business. Just look for it in the description below and I will send you all the details. Now let's get back to our video. The next thing for you to do is address that break openly and honestly with your audience. This can sometimes feel scary, and sometimes we kind of wonder whether people even notice that we took a break in the first place. But your loyal fans probably did notice, and they probably never reached out to ask why you took the break. So instead of that, you can create a video just explaining there what was that one thing that was hampering you or holding you back from actually creating the content. Or if you send out a weekly email to your email list, you can even tell your story there. Remember, you don't have to make excuses there. You are not obligated to explain your break to anybody. The only reason you are doing this is so that you can create a better connection with your audience and be transparent with them. Let your audience know that you, as a coach or consultant, you go through the same ups and downs that they do as a member of your audience. Remember, your audience members are not perfect people who are doing every single thing the way that they need to be doing it. They are also taking breaks from their content and from the things that they want to be doing. Remember, your audience is not there just to get the information about your niche. They are also there to make sure that you are the right coach or consultant for them. And that means these type of personal struggles that you have in your business are an important piece of the puzzle. Your audience is always going to appreciate your openness and honesty and transparency with them as you share your own journey while building your business. Another way you can get back on video after a break is to set yourself a goal and make this a public goal. For example, you could say that you're about to launch a small product in 3 weeks, for example, or you're going to be running a new challenge in 1 month, or whatever the goal is. Set the goal and make it public, because as soon as you make it public, that level of accountability is now there on you. If you say that on December 1st, you're going to be releasing this new thing, or keep your eyes and ears open for this new thing that's happening on December the 1st, now you will put a little bit of good pressure on yourself to get the ball rolling. Nobody wants to tell their audience that they're releasing something on December 1st and then just walking off into the sunset and not doing that. That's your professional reputation on the line. So be careful about biting off more than you can chew and taking on a huge new project, but set some small public goal for yourself, announce it to your audience, and then that will just kickstart some momentum within you to get back on video and to start talking about that new thing. Speaking of public accountability, let's not forget that accountability in general is a great way to get back from anything, not just a video break. So that means you can reach out to a peer of yours, somebody who might be in a similar niche or doing something totally different, but the same type of work as you, like coaching or consulting, and ask if you would like to be accountability partners. So this means the two of you will hold yourselves accountable to each other and connect maybe once every couple days or once a week about the work that you have done. That way you can commit to your accountability partner that this week I'm going to release 3 new reels or whatever the case is, and have that person also hold themselves accountable to you. That way you never want to disappoint another person who is expecting that you are doing the work that you have said you can do. The one thing about video and content in general is that sometimes it's a bit of a lonely journey. The only person that knows that we are putting out video and working behind the scenes with our content is ourselves. So if we don't post a video today, half of the time people are not going to call us out for it. On the other hand, if we have an accountability partner, that person's goal is to see you do your work and you are holding them equally accountable. This will also elevate your reasoning for wanting to actually get it done and not just let it slip through the cracks and continue on with a longer and longer break. Another great way to come back to video after a break is to create collaborative videos. You might be feeling like you just don't feel like even getting on video in the first place. But what if you invite somebody to jump on an Instagram live with you, for example? Once you do that, that date is now in your calendar and in their calendar. Of course, no matter how much you feel like you are dragging yourself around with video, when that day comes, you're not just going to disappear. You are going to show up on that Instagram live because you have invited a guest and you need to be responsible and show up for them, and they've prepared for that. So these type of videos will actually add another level of accountability because somebody else is now dependent on the invitation that you have sent to them. So you will hold yourself accountable and responsible. So try that idea too. And last but not least, one of my favorite ways to get back to video after a break is to start with shorter videos. Don't put so much pressure on yourself when you're coming back from a break to actually reconnect the dots from where you left off. There is no such pressure. You are not obligated to do such a thing. If you haven't gotten on video in 2 months now, don't put pressure on yourself to put out the world's most interesting YouTube video that's 25 minutes long or to host a webinar. Instead of that, give yourself a break and start with a 15-second Instagram story. The reason that I go on and on and on about Instagram and Facebook stories is because they are perfect for everybody. And they provide so much value and interest to your audience that they're always a win-win situation. If you've been away from video for a while, you might be feeling hesitancy around a lot of things, around getting your perfect outfit for your next video, making sure your background is good, remembering how to set up all of your equipment, making sure that you look as good as you remember you looked 2 months ago before the break, all of these things. So don't add extra layers of pressure to yourself by making it a whole production. Instead of that, keep it casual, keep it simple. Remember that your viewer is going to be delighted to see you back on video. They're not going to be analyzing whether one strand of your hair is out of place. So for that reason, start with a 15 or 25 or 30-second Instagram story. Just post a video of somewhere where you are going, or something that you are doing on the weekend, or something you're doing in your evening. Something that's kind of unpolished, authentic, just a very in the moment, personal life moment. That way you ease yourself back into video without having to think about editing and production and all of that stuff. The people that see it will think, wow, she is back. Now I can watch her stories again. She's back to her content. And that'll be a perfect entryway back for you. So if you like this video, I hope that you will give it a like, share it off with one of your friends. Don't forget to subscribe, because every single week I release a new video showing you how you can add video to your business. So until next time, take care.